there. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Podcasting with the Power. Time marches on, never stops. How you doing, man?
Oh, doing good. I'm doing good.
That's Jordan Carlson. You hear over there. I'm Zachary Davis. It's been a week, you know. It's always been a week since we did the last show, but it has been a particular week over here. But hopefully you've been playing some games to get through it. You been doing anything fun?
Still, man, I hate that this is my third week in a row, but I am still cranking on Pokemon.
Maybe rephrase that, but yeah. Just cranking on them Pokemon. I'm with you.
Yep.
Yeah. So what all have you been doing in Zod?
Honestly, it's all the side quests. I feel like it's like finding I can't remember what they're called, but the different colors of that one to get the different hair colors and stuff. Like it's all the weird fetch quests. But honestly, when do you think? Because I don't want to say too much about what I've been doing because it might spoil a little bit. I just noticed there's more variety going on now, and maybe I don't know if it's just stuff I skipped during the main game or if when you do roll credits that first time, it opens up a lot of side quests. But you're right, there is a ton of stuff to do on the map now, with a lot of variety, and I've been kind of going through and cleaning a lot of that up too. I've been doing some of the main quest stuff because there is some post game main quest stuff, right? And now I'm just kind of in a spot where I'm grinding before I can do like what I think is the last thing. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. And then because I want to be ready for that DLC next month too. Be in a good spot.
Yeah, we're going to talk all about that in a bit. We've got the new season of competitive that has now started. As of recording this, I haven't taken a look at that yet. But you know how I know I'm very into this Pokemon game, Jordan? I am getting into the nitty gritty, the numbers. I'm training these guys. I'm EV training. I'm farming for IVs. It's a lot easier than it used to be. I haven't done this since Black and White.
Utilizing that service that you open up?
Yeah. So there are a lot of tools now to. Because for those that don't know, Pokemon has always kind of had these hidden values, IVs, individual values, and EVs, effort values. And this game makes it very easy to see those and kind of figure out where you're at. It also is very helpful in letting you change stuff. There are items now that let you change natures, which is all new to me. So, yeah, I'm going through and I'm making a couple competitors that I want to take online.
Yeah, like cleaning it up. Dude, I am really switching my party up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Making some more main characters here.
Okay. Who you got?
And I love it. Well, I'm training up. Should I just blow this thing open? And
I guess. I don't know who it's going to be.
I mean, I've collected some of the Pokemon that you come across a little more often later on in the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I've thrown some of them. I don't mean to be weird about it, because I know there's folks that to me, it was a beautiful surprise. So I don't want to necessarily take that away from somebody if they haven't experienced it yet. Maybe I'll give it a little more time, but okay. I came across some familiar faces that I hadn't seen as much up until this point, and it's predominantly my team. I will say, because this doesn't spoil anything, but I've been going back around and trying to get like the evolutions, like all of them. Okay, and train those guys up. So I've been doing a lot of work there. A little bit of shiny hunting, which is pretty fun and different for me.
Who have you come across? I have the Mareep that I've now, turned into a Flaffy and Ampharos that I've been using basically through the whole game. I did find an Arduino. Is that how you call it? It's like a little pink. They always run away from you, but I have a shiny one of those. It's like a purple lavender color.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Mareep, Dratini. Okay. And what's my other one? To be honest, the other one is one of the newer Pokemon that I'm not as familiar with, but I knew it wasn't the way it was supposed to look.
Sure.
It was like, no way.
I know. I would love, it's never going to happen. I would love a shiny Charmander, any of those.
Yes.
Black Charizard just looks so cool,
Yeah, dude. God, I know. But I mean that, and then I feel like we can say this too, but like obviously we talked about the second round of starters, and going back around and trying to evolve those guys. I, made some rounds in the wild and found some folks.
Yeah, sure.
Train them up. But yeah, no, I want a diverse couple of strings, like I want like 3 strong strings that I can kind of rotate in and out. Cause I still, this time intentionally, because last time we spoke, it was like very much unintentional. I put off the online thing. Like I kept forgetting about it. Now I feel like I'm like, you know what? I'm going to like really have a good time doing this. So I've been trying to get my party where I want it to be. And then I'm going to go on there and just have a blast. I think that's my plan.
Cool. Well, like I said, it's available now. I tried to go on last night after I knew that the new season was starting today. I didn't realize that the previous season was starting like before or ending before that new one started. So it was just like, it's done. Here's a prize. I was like, oh, cool. That's lame.
I didn't even know that.
But yeah, so I'm been training some guys up, mostly ones I didn't use before. So like I have a Gyarados that I'm very happy with. I have an Excadrill, the little mole guy.
Mole guy.
Yeah. And I would love to. I think one of the next ones I want to do is a Venusaur. I want to get a Mega Venusaur that I can use online because I don't see too many of those.
Yeah. I still need to trade you. I want an Alakazam.
Okay, yeah, we should do that. Yeah, because now I have some items that you can give to Pokemon that will make them trade, and yeah, so I have a couple that I want to trade as well. But yeah, so very cool. We're still loving Pokemon Legends.
Cranking them.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how much time I put into this one when it's all said and done because it's already really up there. I've returned to Metroid Prime 3. I need to finish it before the new one comes out. I'm probably about halfway through it. I need to just kind of buckle down this week and do it. Still great game, ambitious. Has some of the Wii, stuff that frustrates you, but it's not bad.
Okay. Well, that's good. I just remembered another game that I was playing and I totally forgot to mention. I'll be quick on it because I don't want to dwell on this for too long, but we've been playing a lot more Little Nightmares 3, Amanda and I. And
yes.
I mean, it's still figuring out that dual stream setup, dude. It's been a wild ride trying to make that work, but just audio issues all over the place.
Yeah.
Thanks. No, I left the camera mic on last time. It just screwed me up. I was so angry. But anyway, just quick thoughts. It's fun, but it's not as interesting as the first 2 entries. Like, the areas, it's very much just you run through these rooms. There's not a lot to them. You just kind of keep going, run through the rooms, and eventually you'll kind of run into like some kind of confrontation scene or something that happens and it's exciting or scary. But like it's just so much running through these rooms with not a lot happening that I feel like we're both a little bummed out. But I mean, regardless, we're just happy to be playing a game together, so it's fun. But it's a little disappointing, I think.
Okay, it's kind of like that haunted house feel where it's kind of like you're just walking through it more than actually like doing stuff. Yeah.
So Reanimal, man, when Reanimal comes out, I'm gonna be stoked.
There you go. Do we know when that's coming out? Does it have a date?
I think it's February or something next year.
Yeah, cool. Not too far away. Well, let's talk about some news here in just a second. Let's knock out some housekeeping before we get there. Podcasting with Power is an independent podcast made by the two of us, and your support goes a long way. You can watch PWP on YouTube or Spotify, or listen on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Wherever you are, we'd really appreciate it if you'd follow, like, comment on, or review the show. You can keep up with us on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and more at Pod with Power. We post show updates, clips, and anything else we think you might find interesting. So check that out and help support the show. Jordan, it's kind of a slow news week, but the news we have is cool. So we're just going to do 4 stories this week. Let's jump in. Story number 1. Switch 2 sells over 10 million units. Nintendo increases forecast even further. This is by Ollie Reynolds at Nintendo Life. Nintendo has released its latest financial data for the 6 months ending the September 30th of 2025 and has provided updated sales figures for the Switch 2. The console has now sold at least 10.36 million units according to the official figures, which is seemingly more than even Nintendo itself was anticipating. As such, the company has increased its forecast for the year, bumping expected Switch 2 sales up from 15 million to 19 million. Switch 2 software has seen a similar jump, up from 45 million to 48. Naturally, this also means that sales for the original Switch family of systems has tanked, with the console pulling in a meager 1.89 million in sales, a hefty drop of 60% year on year. As a result, Nintendo has decreased its forecast for the Switch accordingly, lowering the console sales from 4.5 million to 4 million. On the flip side, however, thanks to the magic of backwards compatibility, the software forecast has been increased from 105 to 125 million, a bump of 19%. Here's a look at how the Switch 2 is sold across various regions. In the Americas, 3.68 million units. In Europe, 2.4 million. In Japan, 2.35 million. And in the rest of the world, 1.93. With the help of bundles, Mario Kart World has also sold an extraordinary amount, shifting a total of 9.57 million units since launch, a remarkable attach rate of over 92%. We probably know why that is, though. Meanwhile, it's been confirmed that Donkey Kong Bonanza has sold 3.49 million units, which perhaps isn't as high as fans would have hoped for, but it's a good start nevertheless. I do have a list here of the 10 best-selling Switch games of all time, because that was in that report. I don't know if you've taken a look at this. Do you have some guesses as to what might be on there?
On which report?
On the it's the link in the doc there, the top 10 best-selling Switch games.
Ooh, so before I click it, take a guess.
Yeah, do you got some guesses of what might be in there?
Animal Crossing.
Switch 1. Yep. Oh yeah.
Breath of the Wild, obviously.
Yeah.
10 games. Luigi's Mansion 3?
No, I know that did do very well, but it doesn't quite crack.
Mario Kart 8.
10.
What am I fucking idiot?
Well, that
Mario
is number
Kart 8.
1. So
how about wait, one more. Hold on.
Yeah.
How about I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Might be a weird guess. Shoot, maybe not. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, you got a good chunk of them. From top to bottom, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has, as of this quarter, sold 69.56 million units. Animal Crossing New Horizons has moved 48.62 million. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, 36.93 million. Breath of the Wild, 33.34 million. And then the list goes: Super Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Party, and New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Yeah. So Nintendo games be selling.
They're do.
Doing well.
I want to say something about this list.
Okay.
I'm going to make a metaphor here.
Okay.
Well, not a metaphor, actually. This is not a metaphor.
Okay.
You know when you go to your fridge and you just hope that there's more in there next time you look?
Sure.
I'm feeling that way about Sword and Shield Pokemon.
Interesting. Why is that?
This is a weird way to arrive at this point, but like I've been listening to these creators online that make like metal remixes of Pokemon music lately.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And it'll just kind of like go across the different, titles, and I'll come across like the gym leader music for Sword and Shield and all the stuff. And I'm like listening to it. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. Like it sounds really good. And then because of the algorithm, it'll shuffle me into like gameplay stuff and people talking about it and all that kind of thing. And I feel like I want to go back to it. I'm wondering if like maybe if I go back, it'll be a little bit different or better than it was, or at least that I felt like it was. I just have this urge to go back and play these. I don't know why.
Do a little bit. I never finished. I had Shield. I never finished it. I feel like I need to go back. Now that I'm back in the Pokemon groove here, I feel like I want to do that.
And people like really love Shield.
Yeah, I mean, and people love Sun and Moon, which I don't care for. Obviously, I've been really kind of thinking about X and Y because of all the connection to you're right. There's kind of this era of Pokemon that I've been thinking about going back to. It's very, very interesting.
It is. I think I may.
We'll have to do that at some point. In the same report, Nintendo did reaffirm some of its release dates for next year. Certainly not all of them. And this includes the game that is now out. But for the Switch 2, we've got Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment November 6th, 2025. Kirby Air Riders, November 20th. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond on both Switch 1 and 2, December 4th. Animal Crossing New Horizons, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition on January 15th. Mario Tennis Fever on February 12th. Super Mario Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition in spring of 2026. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book also in spring. And then Pokopia, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, and those are both confirmed for next year, 2026. And Splatoon Raiders doesn't have a year attached to it. That's very interesting.
That's weird.
And then for Switch 1, I mentioned Metroid Prime, but we also have Tamagotchi Life, Living the Dream, spring 2026. And then both Rhythm Heaven Groove and Pokemon Champions in 2026. So we have a lot on the way. And we're going to get more, right? Like, this will not make up all of Nintendo's next year. How do you feel looking at this? You think this is going to keep moving Switches?
I think Metroid Prime... Yoshi's interesting, but I don't know that it'll move Switches. Metroid Prime, I feel like, has a lot of power. Fire Emblem has a big fan base. I don't know. I think that we need a little bit more in this. I think we need some more. And I think that pushing some of the extra GameCube titles and stuff could also help, depending on what we see there.
Sure.
But I mean, I was just I had to refresh my memory on Pokopia real quick. And initially I think it's just the Pokemon Fever like we're talking about, but now I'm kind of interested.
Okay. I still don't know about that one. I'll give it a shot, but
it's weird, but they do look like, looking at the little Pokemon, they do look very like Legend of Zelda Link to the Past remake, just shiny, cute, and plasticky, and I just want to play it now.
Yeah, I know we had some concerns with the current state of world economics, about how certain things would do in this launch year for the Switch 2. Obviously, they're doing fine. It does not seem to be holding people back from buying this thing. They've increased their forecast. No. I think this is cool. This is a great first year so far.
Yeah. It's an okay start.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to story number 2. The Nintendo Store finally has an app, and it's hiding a long-requested feature. This is by Devin McClure at Polygon. An official Nintendo Store app has finally been released on mobile, allowing players to shop games, accessories, and other merchandise on their phone. The Android and iOS app was previously only available in Japan, but has now launched for most major regions, excluding Australia and New Zealand. This marks yet another application in the lineup from Nintendo, joining Nintendo Music, Nintendo Switch Parental Controls app, the Nintendo Switch app, and news platform Nintendo Today. Contrary to what one might think, none of these previous releases, even the Nintendo Switch app bafflingly, allowed access to the eShop. Though the performance of the Nintendo eShop has improved somewhat on the Switch 2, this new app has a much more convenient way for players to browse games. The app description also lists a few other features besides making purchases, like receiving notifications about game sales for titles on players' wish lists and redeeming My Nintendo points. It can also be used to check in at official Nintendo stores and events to earn related rewards, though it's not clear what these entail. Perhaps the best feature, though, is one many wouldn't have expected to appear in a shopping app: the ability to review detailed play activity. Instead of the rough estimations given on the Switch systems, players can now view every single play session they've had with a game. Previously, this option was only available through setting up parental controls and viewing activity that way. Even better, if players link their Nintendo Network ID, they can also view their gaming history across the Wii U and 3DS. However, this activity has only been logged up until February 2020, and unlike the Switch data, it doesn't list individual play sessions. Even so, this new feature included in the Nintendo Store app is like a nerdy trip down memory lane, bringing back nostalgic echoes of gameplay from over a decade ago. Have you checked this app out?
I want to log in really bad and see this. I'm trying to remember which email my Switch stuff's on, but but like, so what? It goes back to, what did you say? 2020, February 2020.
So no, the 3DS and Wii U stuff only goes up to February 2020. So if you've done stuff on there since then, it won't record that.
Oh my God, how fun! Oh, dude, I can't wait. I'm curious because, like I told you, I kind of got screwed.
Yeah.
And all my play stuff went away. So now I'm curious because it's like, if they've been caching this data somewhere, like, oh, here we go.
All right.
I'm in. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh. Joe Carr signed in successfully. I accept. Hello.
Take whatever you want.
Hello, take it. Go ahead. Alerts. I'm down. All right, let's see here. Wish list. Ooh, my wish list is on here. Cool.
I know it's a very, well put together app.
Where's my history here?
Go over to your little profile.
Play activity.
Yep.
Do more.
And then I have it sorted by total time played here. This was kind of a surprise, but it makes sense. The thing I have played the most is Netflix on the Wii U for over 250 hours.
So, all activity? No.
I have it sorted by total time played under all activity.
Total time played under all. Oh, here we go. Total time played. Oh, I have over 500 hours of Netflix and YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
100 hours on Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Holy smokes. This is crazy though. So Ocarina of Time for the 3DS, it just says I have over 10 hours. Oh, 90. It just says over 30 hours in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have, over 30.
It's crazy though, because I feel like I've played that way more than that.
I know some of these numbers you look at sometimes and you're surprised that it's not more. Not counting Netflix on the Wii U, it looks like I played Wind Waker HD the most on there for over 60 hours, with Nintendo Land and Smash Bros at over 50.
I am happy to see my Tears of the Kingdom time back though.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, because that I think my Switch right now says barely played or something.
Right.
This is really cool. And then you click into it and it shows you some of the details too. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. This is really cool. All the play sessions. Dude.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It tells you exactly yeah, that's nuts. I played
launch
for 4 hours and 45 minutes the other day.
Launch day for Tears of the Kingdom for me. 13 hours and 30 minutes.
Jeez. Yeah.
The 14th. Holy shit, dude. 18 hours. 18 hours.
Yeah, I feel like we could just pour over this. This is crazy.
You gotta be kidding me. What was I doing on 5/16?
You're playing Zelda. Yeah.
Shit.
That's what's going on. So yeah, very cool. Obviously, not the main function of this app, but it's nice to see on there.
Yeah.
Man. We can take this trip down memory lane another time, but for now, let's move on to story number 3. Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimension DLC launches next month with Pokemon over level 100 and more. This is by Wesley LeBlanc at Game Informer. Pokemon Legends ZA launched last month on October 16th with the promise of previously announced Mega Dimension DLC on the way. In a new trailer released today, developer Game Freak has revealed Mega Dimension will launch on December 10th, and it will feature a new Hyperspace Lumiose to explore, Pokemon exceeding level 100 and more. In the Mega Dimension DLC, trainers will revisit Lumiose as spatial distortions begin to form around the city, according to a press release from Nintendo. Donut Chef Ansha and her companion, the mythical Pokemon Hoopa, will guide players as they explore the mysterious dimension known as Hyperspace Lumiose. The not-quite Lumiose City is home to newly discovered Mega-evolved Pokemon and other Pokemon not normally found in Lumiose, some of which can exceed the normal limit of level 100, with hyperspace levels. Nintendo says Hoopa's powers are awakened after it receives one of Ansha's donuts, transforming the distortions around Lumiose into portals to Hyperspace Lumiose. These portals are how trainers will reach the new area, and once there, Ansha can use berries to create new kinds of donuts that grant unique effects in hyperspace. Trainers will be joined by new allies such as Karina, a successor to a line of Mega Evolution gurus determined to encounter every Mega evolved Pokemon. Together with Team MZ, players will explore Hyperspace Lumiose, uncover its secrets, and tackle the strange events befalling Lumiose City. With Mega Dimensions comes a slew of additional Mega evolved Pokemon to catch, including Mega Chimecho and Mega Bexcalibur. Alongside today's announcement, Nintendo says starting today, players can claim a Deoncite Stone through the mystery gift feature in the base Pokemon Legends ZA, which unlocks an opportunity to catch Diancie in an extra side mission called Shine Bright Like a Gemstone. Once you've claimed it via mystery gift, visit the Looker Bureau, where Mimi the Esper, Emma's partner Pokemon, will take a special interest in the Mega Stone, setting the mission in motion. The DLC will come out December 10th on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. So yeah, we got a trailer for this, the first real set of details. We knew a couple things. We knew Hoopa was going to be in it. We knew Mega Raichu was going to make 2 appearances. And that was about it. It's coming out earlier than I expected. Did you expect next month for this?
Honestly, I hate that my answer is not what I kind of thought it was sooner, to be honest with you.
Okay. See, I expected it later, like February.
Really? Is this the one? I could be really exposing myself here. Is this the one that they announced before the game came out?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. That's what I thought. And for some reason, my memory was like this was coming out like in a couple of days, not December.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not too far away.
No. What is it? Like a month and 6 days? What was it?
Yeah. Yep. About a month from now.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm pumped about it. I hope that they keep supporting this game. This is a great game. I would love to see more. And I love that the shift of the perception of this game has really taken a U-turn online. I feel like there was so much hate for it. And even I hated on it when I was first streaming it. But I'm just glad to see the community's kind of standing up. And like, yeah, I want my Pokemon games to look better too. Trust me. But I'm loving to see such depth in the game. So I love it.
Yeah, at first glance, I was a little disappointed to see that it is just kind of a reskinned map that we've already been exploring. It sounds like there'll be some interesting stuff there. It also sounds like there's going to be a lot more Pokemon than I expected. I figured there'd be some that weren't in the base game. Definitely maybe some new megas and stuff like that. But they already showed us 2, and they've said they're going to give us more. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see just how substantial that is.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. And it's far enough away that even when I kind of take a little break after doing this online stuff we're talking about, it'll be nice, in a couple weeks to come back and have some new content to play.
Yes.
Story number 4 is a Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment review roundup. So for this, we go to OpenCritic, where it is currently sitting at a critic average of 79, which, looking up, is about exactly where the previous 2 Hyrule Warriors games have landed. So, consistent, at least. It's interesting. This isn't so much one where I see a lot of variation. I just see like a lot of 8s,
Yeah. Like, it's good, but okay.
Right. That's kind of what you expect from something like this.
Yeah, I think so.
From IGN, we have an 8 out of 10 from Logan Plant, who says Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment's story may fail to capture the promise of Tears of the Kingdom's prequel, but the gameplay more than makes up for it by wonderfully fusing its source material's craziest ideas with great 1 versus 1,000 battles, resulting in the best action of the series yet. We've got PJ O'Reilly from Nintendo Life gave it a 9 out of 10. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is a stunning slice of action, my favorite Musou game so far. Lessons have been learned from both Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity, resulting in a game that balances big-time story with top-notch combat that's got proper depth with it. With Zonai devices to play with, a cracking roster, tons of sexy sync strikes to pull off, and a ludicrously slick recreation of early Hyrule to set about kicking ass in, this is a dream time for hack-and-slash fans and Zelda enthusiasts alike. Yes, map layouts are still a little bland, and co-op mode is 30 frames per second, but everything else here combines to make for the best entry in the spin-off series to date.
So what Logan Plant was saying, like the source material's craziest idea is 1v1000. I think my biggest problem with these games typically, and again, I took a hiatus here, so you'll have to tell me what you think once you start playing it, but it just feels like you're so much more powerful in these games than you would be in actual Tears of the Kingdom, where it's like you're just taking down guys left and right. Like you're just fighting average Joes out there. They're just throwing them at you and you're just knocking them down. Like it always just kind of feels like you're so OP a little bit against the masses. Like the power scalings come down a little bit. And I think that's what really bothers me the most.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. I have not had a chance to start this yet. Hopefully I'll be able to play it a little more before next week. But from what they've shown in pre-release, it does sound like, obviously this is what Dynasty Warriors is, right? It's about you taking on big armies and lots of enemies on screen. It does seem like as we've gone down the Hyrule Warriors side of it, that they are trying to hone in more on that. Like, it's never going to be one-on-one, but it does feel like they're trying to focus more on making it more like Zelda, having the Zonai devices there, that kind of stuff. Like, I hope that this isn't just Dynasty Warriors with a Zelda skin, which is very much like what the first game was, and even Age of Calamity was to an extent. I hope this leans more into those newer Zelda titles, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then I got a little out this week for you. So on November 11th, we have Goodnight Universe for the Switch 2. On November 12th, we have Winterborough for the Switch 1. The 13th is kind of packed. We have Inazuma 11 Victory Road on Switch 1 and 2. Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2, both for the Switch 2 on November 13th. We have Atelier Riza Secret Trilogy Deluxe Pack for Switch 1 and 2. You can get all three of those games individually, but they have crazy long titles, so I didn't write those down. Those come out November 13th. We have Videoverse on Switch 1, November 14th. And then, I'm stoked, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Switch 1 and 2, November 14th. I'm still on board. I want to see. I know there's a good chance that when reviews come out, it's going to be like, hey, this runs like shit. It's awful. Like, I know there's a shot that that's going to happen. I'm really hoping it's not, though.
I will probably wait to see how it reviews, but I played it pretty heavily on the PC, and this is a title that I would I'd possibly buy it on the Switch too, just to have it portable. It's one of those for me. I think I'd do it.
Yeah, I haven't pre-purchased or anything. It will very much be I want to make sure it's not a dumpster fire before I jump in there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Okay, let's move into our main topic this week. With Age of Imprisonment coming out, I thought this would be a good time for us to tackle spin-offs. Spin-offs are obviously a big part of the video game industry. They've been doing it forever. And I would say Nintendo is probably the biggest. I don't want to use culprit because it's not always a bad thing, right? But Nintendo's got to be the publisher that does this the most, right?
100%. Absolutely.
I started listing examples here in our doc, and I kept going. I was like, there are so many, and I'm sure I'm missing a ton on here. But yeah, Nintendo from the very beginning has been kind of all about utilizing its characters and properties in different ways. You could call Super Mario Brothers a spinoff if you really wanted to of Donkey Kong. That's kind of where it all begins, and here we are. So obviously, we've talked about Hyrule Warriors and how this one maybe isn't certainly not a day one purchase for you, and maybe you'll try it eventually. But generally, if you see a spinoff in a Nintendo Direct or something like that, are you immediately apprehensive, or are you willing to kind of see what it's all about?
I'm always willing to see what it's all about. Okay. I can always embrace a new cool idea. I mean, we've talked, because Mario Maker is one of these, just to throw one out really early. Sure. Yeah. And it's like we've talked about it before, but like that game came out and that was one of my most highly anticipated games at one point in my life. So I mean, like there's always some intrigue there. Like I'm always a little curious. Sometimes I see them and immediately I'm like, nah.
Right. But bringing up Mario Maker, like you are a big fan of Mario Paint, which obviously is one I completely forgot to list here. And like, that's a very off the wall spinoff.
Off the wall. Arguably one of the first more accessible main ones, maybe.
Yeah. So Go ahead. Yeah.
I feel like with it being on the Super Nintendo, it was probably one of the, because there's so many earlier ones. There was like Mario typing, something with Mario and teaching type.
Yeah,
Mario teaches typing.
Yeah.
You know, there's always shit like that, but I feel like Super Nintendo Mario Paint, like that was one to like obtain very easily, you know?
Yeah. So I think Mario is probably the best place to start with these spin-offs.
Yeah.
You know, I've listed here, Mario is the king of spin-offs. He's done it all. Way more than anybody else. Cause you know, Sonic's out here, he's doing things. He's racing, he's fighting sometimes, but he's not doing it like Mario's doing it. We've talked about Mario Paint. We've talked about Mario Maker. On the Super Nintendo, as you mentioned, you know, you've got Mario Kart, which has obviously kind of turned into Nintendo's most successful property that they wholly own, right? Obviously that's been huge. We were stoked that was a launch title for Switch 2. And I mean, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is. I mean, I just had a thought. I'm trying to think, Mario Kart, all the Mario sports games. God, there was one I was going to bring up. I can't even remember. I'm losing my train of thought here.
So I listed here because I had kind of forgotten about this until I saw it recently in a store. DDR Mario Mix, Dance Dance Revolution. Do you remember this for the GameCube?
No.
Yeah, so it is, I believe, the only DDR game on the GameCube, and I don't know if they maybe did later ones on the Wii, but yeah, this was wild. There was a point in time, I think, where DDR kind of had its grip on kids our age. We definitely had some friends that had the masks and all that. Yeah.
Dude, it did. I remember anytime I was anywhere and I saw somebody pull out one of those crinkly mats, I was like, fuck.
Well, because they're never as good as the ones, you know, in an arcade.
No, it's funny. You just hear them like, and you're like, damn, dude. What?
Yeah, we had one on the PS2, but yeah, they were never as good as you wanted them to be. So yeah, I mean, that's very much an example of like just kind of slotting Mario into anything. You know, he's danced, he's driven karts, he's hosted parties. Obviously any sport you can think of. You know, we've got Mario Sports Mix and tennis and golf and all that stuff. I'm sure we've maybe talked about this. What do you like to see Mario do the most?
You know,
not the Olympics.
I don't know. I just like thinking about this like off the dome right now. I don't know. I do really like some of the sports games. We've talked about that a little bit. Always love a Mario Golf. I love a Mario Golf. Sure. Mario Tennis, that's another one that for whatever reason it captures my attention. But I feel like I'm more drawn to the ones like and I'm not sure how these even really connect, but maybe you'll see what I'm saying. Like Mario Maker, Mario Party, like where there's more. It's not about the sport. It's more about introducing other gameplay, I guess.
Yeah, like different mechanics and structure. Yeah.
So I mean, like, and Mario has done it so well too. It's not like, you know, and I'm not trying to jump ahead here, but to make a point, it's not like Pokemon Pinball. You know what I mean? Like, they're not just doing small things like that. It's like you'll see these larger games that have this whole different idea, and I feel like it's, in a lot of ways, Nintendo being like, what an interesting idea for a game. How can we make it sell? Put a Mario on the front and let's go, you know?
Right. It's funny that you bring up Pokemon Pinball because I do think Mario Pinball might be the worst Mario spinoff. But you're right. Generally, they are very high quality, and I'm all about that. Yeah. I forgot to mention Dr. Mario, which is, you know, not the most complex puzzle game in the world, but it's certainly one I like. You know, going all the way back to the NES, and I like seeing what Dr. Mario is up to.
No, I do too.
But Mario also kind of occupies this cool space where they have just spun off characters to kind of, in some ways, make completely different series and games. And obviously, recently we talked about revisiting Luigi's Mansion, which is a totally different set of, you know, mechanics and gameplay than the Mario franchise is used to. But I have a bunch here. I have Yoshi listed, and Wario, and Princess Peach, Captain Toad. Like, of these kind of series spin-offs, and I guess you could maybe even put Donkey Kong in there. Well, it's not, because I know Donkey Kong's going to be your favorite. What would you say is your favorite out of this pool of the Wario lands and the that kind of stuff?
Honestly, out of this pool, probably probably Luigi's Mansion, man. Honestly.
Okay, and that's cool. I mean, I had a blast playing through that. And like I said, it's a very different kind of game.
It is, and I think the reason, I mean, it's hard to say because you got, we got whales in there like Mario Kart, and even some of the sports titles. But I think that the reason I would go Luigi's Mansion is just because, like Mario Maker, it was just a whole new idea. We made Luigi the main character and we gave him a 3D adventure. And I think that it's like that stuck out to me,
Yeah. I love how much personality they let Luigi have in those games and how that's carried over now to everything. He is kind of this scaredy cat kind of, and I feel like you see that with Wario, being greedy and stinky and everything he is. I do want to shout out like the Wario Land games. Those all four of those are pretty solid. A couple in particular. I have never played Wario World on the GameCube. I would love for that to come to Nintendo Classics and try that out. I do have, Super Princess Peach and Princess Peach Showtime listed here. Neither one of those I think really hits the mark, and maybe they're meant for I think Showtime is definitely meant for a younger audience than a 31-year-old man, however old I was when that came out. But Yoshi is the disappointing one, I think. And maybe that's, again, just I've outgrown it. But, like, Yoshi's Island is so good. And, Yoshi's Story is a little less good. And then, we just kind of go on from there. And now it's where we're at with the serious book. I don't know if I care. And that bumps me out.
I'm going to get it. I want to like it. And Yoshi's Story is a rose-colored glasses game for me. I'll go back, check it out, and I'm like, not what I remember.
Right.
I hate that.
But I love when Yoshi pops up in something. Something
yeah, me too.
That isn't, his own thing. Captain Toad, I mentioned before that I love Captain Toad. That is kind of an unfair one because it's just taking that like puzzle cube concept from 3D World and making it its own thing. But even that, they gave him a lot of personality and kind of make it a fun little co-op thing. And then I've got Mario and Rabbids listed here because like this is one where you take an established kind of turn-based strategy, XCOM kind of thing, and it shouldn't work, right? Mario and the Rayman Raving Rabbids should not work in this kind of game. They shouldn't work together. And it ends up being a pretty cool, like much deeper game than you'd expect.
Yeah.
It's cool. I know it's not for everybody, but I love that. And that leads right into RPGs. Mario has been in RPGs basically not since the beginning, but since the Super Nintendo, and I mean kind of consistently ever since. We've certainly talked up several of them here. Have you ever thought it's weird though that he's doing it in so many different places? We got Mario and Luigi, we've got Super Mario RPG, we got Paper Mario. Like, why is it not just one consolidated thing?
I don't really know, but I feel like I like that it's not because it just adds for more flavor, a little bit more variety out there.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm glad that it's kind of different. And I'm glad that whenever they have an idea, they branch out of it. Like Paper Mario is a whole thing. And I love that. As much as sometimes Paper Mario can be disappointing, it's fun that they're at least adventurous about it and they're changing things up, So like, I like to see it. And I like that every time you kind of see them hold on to something where they know it worked. They know people liked it. So they'll kind of implement the next one. They'll be like, okay, so you like this? Let's slide in some weird battle mechanics. How do you like that?
Okay. No. Change it back, please. You hit the nail on the head. Like Paper Mario, what I think works, what Nintendo is so good at is that they do oftentimes go all in. And I think Paper Mario is one of the best examples of that. Of like, that isn't just a one-to-one, we just put the Mario characters over here. Like, you have to make those new assets and character models and all that. And yeah, I think they've really built something cool. And most of the games that we've mentioned already are that, where they've had to really kind of tailor make something to whatever the thing is. I think that's why, for me, the most recent like Mario sports games and Mario Party just don't have that like charm. They feel a little generic and not Nintendo.
Yeah. And it sucks too, because I feel like Mario Party is a huge example of this, where you know what works and you do it right a lot of times. On the N64, they knocked it out of the park. Like it was win after win on the N64.
And I would say the GameCube era too. Yeah. Like I thought
the GameCube era they did, but like to me, it wasn't as much of a win. When they started introducing like the microphone and that kind of stuff, I was like, okay, I don't know, we're getting a little crazy here. And then the Wii, I was like, guys, let's reel it back in a little bit. I don't know. To me, it fell off a little bit, and it's circled back since then. Like from the Switch era, for me personally, I know this is maybe not the most common opinion, but I feel like on Switch we kind of brought it back home, and it's a little bit more consistent. But you hate to see though, like some of these, it's almost like they're being put out to sell. Like you're like, okay, we know what works. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And that sucks. Like you kind of lose that flavor and that special sauce that some of the older games had.
Yeah, I mean, Mario Tennis, I think, is a great example of what you're talking about, where Mario Tennis, whatever it was on the 3DS, wasn't great. Coming off the GameCube and Game Boy Advance ones, and Ultra Smash on the Wii U was just bland. There was really nothing to it. To the point where I have never played Aces on the Switch. I haven't done it. And I'm a little curious with this new one coming out, which had the title for in a story earlier. I don't remember what it's called. Mario Tennis Fever. I'm excited to try it, but I'm a little trepidatious. Like I haven't liked one of these in a very long time, and I hope there's more to it than just a very basic, and it seems like it. They've got all the different rackets that do different things. It has a story mode. Like it seems like maybe they're listening, but I don't want it to just be a simple, kind of bare bones experience.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds wild, but like Mario Tennis for that N64 was pretty bare bones and I loved it. Like I want more of that back. Like give me some wonky Mario Tennis. Don't give me like, I don't want it to depend on these crazy random power-ups. Like I want there to be a little bit more strategy involved. Like the old one, there was a little bit of strategy involved in the older ones. It was a little more grit. Like I liked that. Yeah. I don't need it to be super flashy in every way. Give me like an RPG mode, like the Game Boy versions of it. Like introduce that. Don't give me outrageous power-ups and overpower the game with it. Give me an RPG to go along with it. That'd be awesome.
Do you remember the last Mario Golf had that mode where you can like golf at once and you're just running around like morons on the fairway? And like, I hate that. Like, I don't want that. Like what I love so much about the GameCube era of these sports games is that they gave you in tennis, again, I'm going to go back to that. Like they had all these different mini games. Like with tennis, there was one where you would like almost paint by numbers, where like you'd have a thing on there and you'd have to hit certain color paintballs at the things. And so you'd have to lob certain shots or backspin and do all these different things to like get the paint where it needed to be. And I love that. They just took that moveset and applied it to this, different kind of thing. And I want more of that.
Yeah. See, that's cool. That is cool. Don't just give me huge mushrooms and make me gigantic and crazy rackets. I don't know, man. It's like, that's not how you suck me into these.
Yeah. If you need a simple mode for, kids and elderly people, then by all means put it in there. But I want to be able to put backspin on the ball if I'm playing Mario Golf, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skill. Give me some skill.
And then don't get me started on strikers. That was just disappointing, this last one.
And that's an uncommon opinion, isn't it?
Not of this most recent one. I think people were pretty dissatisfied with
the newer one. Yeah.
I think people liked the original. They like Charged, but Battle League on the Switch is not what people wanted, which is a bummer because after it's been so long since the Wii game that I was really looking forward to that. And it does. I'm not as excited for these as I wish I was. You know, I should be excited for Mario Tennis. I want a Mario Golf that is good. I would play a Mario Baseball again. You know, I haven't done that in forever.
I don't think I've done that ever. I don't know if I ever played that one.
Yeah,
actually. So yeah, give it a shot.
So I don't know. I'm kind of running out of Mario spinoffs here.
Yeah, I mean, with Mario being the biggest one, like, I think there's, I don't want to say fewer remarkable ones, but I know we've talked quite a bit about, Mario RPG and Paper Mario, like we just did.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, I would say that maybe the obviously you're going to hit a couple if you try a lot. So there's a little bit more there as far as a hit goes, but I do think other entries have had very interesting products, very interesting things,
Okay. Where do you want to go? Where we can go anywhere on the map here.
I mean, personally, I don't have a lot with Pokemon. I know there's a lot of good ones, and I'm not gonna say I haven't played them all, but I haven't played them at length. A lot of these I feel like I'm just checking out a list online right now. When you just look at some spin-off Pokemon games, a lot of these actually kind of came around when I was on a hiatus for Pokemon.
Yeah, I think it really exploded in that kind of DS Wii era.
Yeah.
But it's one that, I mean, it had them right away, which we talked about how suddenly Pokemon was just in our lives and it was everywhere. And it was like that from the get-go. You mentioned Pokemon Pinball. We've talked a lot about Snap. Those are both within like the first year of Pokemon being in the US, and that's wild.
Yep. And when it comes to Pokemon, that's the heyday for me on spinoffs was Coliseum, Stadium, Snap, that kind of stuff. It's like, I know there is it Mystery Dungeon? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that was during my short hiatus, or it wasn't even a hiatus. It's just, I didn't have a DS.
Right. Well, people forget that one is weird in that it had two versions. Red Rescue Team was on the Game Boy Advance and Blue Rescue Team was on the DS. They're virtually the same game. And I think even fewer people, because I always have to be reminded of this, they remade that game for the Switch. Are you aware of this?
No, I wasn't.
A full remake of that game? No one is.
DX?
Nobody talked about it. Yeah, it's crazy, but it exists. Mystery Dungeon, I've tried a couple different times and it's never really clicked for me. I get why people like it, kind of the procedural, stuff. I think people like the idea of being a Pokemon, not a trainer. Yeah, I don't know. It's never really been my thing. We had a mutual friend. I remember I bring him up because he had such weird games. I feel like, and he was always trying to show them to me, and I never really cared. But he had Pokemon Ranger on the DS.
Oh,
and this one you had to like draw around them to like capture them. And I just remember him like trying to show me how to do it and like not succeeding. Like he's trying to do this in like a Charizard and it's just not working. He's like, you got to draw it. And I'm like, you don't know how to draw a circle, man. Like it's, I don't know. I have not played any of these firsthand.
I'm looking at screenshots right now. I think I see exactly what you're talking about. That's so funny.
Yeah. Like, just draw a circle.
God, for the life of me, I have no idea who's playing Pokemon Ranger in our lives.
I think if you think about it for a second, you'll
Really? Because I think I know. Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah. He was really trying to sell me a Pokemon Ranger, and I wouldn't do it. But they had a thing where you could only get this Pokemon like an egg in Diamond and Pearl. You had to like transfer it over from that. So I kind of took advantage of that because he had that game.
Now, would you consider? Now, this isn't a game; it's a service, but like it's interesting to me.
Okay.
Because I've never seen anything like this before in a game. And again, it's not a spin-off, but it allows you to do things that you usually can't do, but the Pokemon Bank.
Yeah, so Pokemon Bank is actually now obsolete. They now have Pokemon Home. It's essentially the same thing. But yeah, the Pokemon Home and Bank and even going back to the GameCube, you had a Pokemon Box. Remember that crazy thing?
Yes.
It was literally just a place for you to put your Pokemon on a GameCube memory card so that you'd have room in your Game Boy Advance games. Yeah, like it's a cool concept and a different way maybe to move things around and kind of catalog your collection.
I mean, I moved some of my childhood Pokemon up to Scarlet or Violet, and I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Like these people online, I saw like these videos, this guy like doing the same thing. And he's like, because I have a cartridge reader, so I can pull it, I can put it where I need to put it. You know what I mean? And it was interesting to see, like, there's people making these emotional videos. They're like, I got my childhood Charizard that I named Butthead,
Yeah.
And now he's with me on a Switch. He grew up with me. I'm like, oh my God. And I felt the same way.
No, I get it. I remember how cool, obviously that's a great way to do it, to get them off your literal Game Boy cartridges. But I mean, that was a big reason to rebuy, red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal on the 3DS, is that they had Pokemon Bank support. It was nice to just have those re-released, but yeah, to have them there, and then at the time you could transfer them to, I think it would have been X and Y, would have been the contemporary ones.
Oh, I'm thinking of Arceus. Wasn't it Arceus that you could do it? That was the most recent one. Maybe? Or was it Violet? I can't remember.
Yeah, they both have home support. I know Legends Odd does not yet. It will. Although I think you won't be able... There's something about, like, once you... Like, only Pokemon from ZA can, like, go back to ZA, or something like that. Like, there's something you can't, like... I don't know. And that's always kind of been a weird hurdle, is that they have weird restrictions on things, and I get that they're different generations and all that. And I do think that's maybe the thing holding back, one of the things holding back Pokemon on Nintendo Classics, is that, that is something they probably want to figure out. And in an ideal world, they'd want to figure out how to, make that work with Stadium and Coliseum and all that as well. So yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get that, but that would be very cool. But you're right. I mean, I feel like that's a big part of Pokemon now, is collecting in home. I mean, hell, you can bring Pokemon from Pokemon Go into there.
Oh yeah, you can, which is really nuts, honestly.
Yeah, I remember doing that with Let's Go Pikachu. Like I was sending them back and forth, and it was crazy.
It is crazy, but it's like, what a cool idea. Like, it's cool to see somebody thought about this and they were like, doesn't that make sense? And they're like, yeah, let's make this thing. And it's just great, because this to me is an idea where we would talk about this and be like, why can't we do this? And to see it exist, you're like, somebody's doing the cool stuff, because it's big. It sounds stupid, but like, I feel like it's so often that we'll think about something like this and it'll never come true, No. And maybe this idea came from a spinoff. Maybe it came from some kind of, brainstorming session. I don't know. But like, it's cool that we're thinking about these types of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like before we had a link cable, I do feel like that is kind of how me and my brother would trade Pokemon, was with Stadium. We would just, put the cartridge in. I would move a Pokemon into the storage there on Stadium, and then we'd take mine out, put his in there, and then, move him that way. So it is kind of, that was a very primitive way to do it, but we've definitely come a long way. But I feel like there have been some interesting Pokemon spinoffs. A game I'm surprised we don't bring up more on the show is Hey You Pikachu.
Oh God, dude! It's so funny you say that, because I was listening to our podcast last week about innovative games, and I have the fucking Hey You Pikachu over there, like sitting on my shelf, and I was like, dude, why did I not? And it's got hardware in there, by the way. That's my box. Like, nice. Like I've got the mic, the little connector, and that game blew my mind as a kid. I'm like, how does it know what I'm saying right now?
Well, the problem is a lot of times it doesn't.
Man, what a cool game. Did you play that a lot as a kid too, or?
No, I feel like maybe, I don't know if we got it late or what. I feel like my brother got it as a present. I don't know. it's cool when it works. It doesn't always work. You're like, get the leek, and he's like, you want this tomato? And I'm like, no, I don't. I want the leek.
That's like part of the. I don't know. I cannot believe that game didn't make me mad as a kid. But I remember being like I know what you're talking about. There's like you're under a tree and you're trying to make him go grab the stuff. And you're like the tomato, and he's like,
he tells you what he wants.
Look at the little like angry thing above his head and you're like the tomato.
Yeah. No, that's me. Get that angry thing out over my head.
You'll be like Pikachu Thundershock.
Yeah. So no, that's been an interesting one. I don't know. I don't know if in recent times I've been crazy about Pokemon spinoffs. I did play new Pokemon Snap. That was fine. I did actually recently, and I haven't played it yet, but I picked up Pokken Tournament DX, the Tekken style fighting game that came out on the Wii U. And I got the Switch edition of it, but I'm kind of interested to play that. I think that could be fun.
I remember being interested in that. I never picked it up, but I remember thinking like, this is a cool game. And then I never pursued it.
Yeah. It's another one where like you can kind of drop Pokemon into almost anything because there is a Pokemon that can do anything. So like, if you wanted, you could do what was that surgery game? Trauma Center. If you wanted to do that with like a Chansey, I'm in. Let me do surgeries as a Chansey. I would love that. So we've kind of taken the big spin-off franchises off the board with Mario and Pokemon. Unless you have some more Pokemon ones to talk about.
I mean, the only other one that I think is worth bringing up is the trading card game for the Game Boy, or just the trading card game in general.
I really like that Game Boy game.
A lot of people do. A lot of people really do, and I kind of get why. Like, I picked it up maybe almost exactly a year ago, just to kind of see. I forgot who was playing it at the time. Somebody that we both know, I think, was playing it at the time. But so I got curious, and I was super obsessed with the Analog Pocket, still am. I think I was ripping it on there, and it is pretty cool. It's a cool way to play the game without actually having the cards, which I think is pretty awesome. And I've actually been getting into the cards lately anyway.
Okay. Cool.
Over the last couple of weeks, I have been. But I mean, I think that'd be the only other one, I think. Outside of like Super Smash, but I don't even know if that's like you'd consider that. I just remember being really excited.
I almost put that on the list. I don't know. That's kind of a different animal. That I'm sure we will talk about at length on this podcast at some point.
Right.
Have you? So we're talking the classic Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy. Have you tried the trading card like Pocket app? I know that's very popular right now.
No,
they've kind of Marvel simplified Pokemon cards.
I haven't.
They've simplified the gameplay. I played through it a little bit and stuck with it for a couple weeks. It's cool. I mean, I get why people like it. I was very into Marvel Snap at the time, so I didn't really get off of that train. But I know that's still kicking, and people seem to really like it.
Man, the things I would do though to like just get that Pokemon first booster set, dude.
I know. It's crazy to think that like at one point we had those in our hands, and now we don't.
Drives me nuts.
So there are some series that I have listed here that maybe aren't as prolific as Mario and Pokemon, but they have had plenty of spinoffs. I have Zelda, Kirby, and Donkey Kong listed here. Do you have anywhere you'd like to start with these guys?
I think, I went in the Pokemon direction. What direction would you like to go in?
Let's play it safe, and we'll go Donkey Kong. We love talking about Donkey Kong here.
Okay.
We already kind of hit the rhythm game beat with DDR, so we have to bring up Donkey Konga and the DK Bongos.
I know we're both huge fans of that one.
Yeah, we got 2 of those games in the States, and I believe a third one in Japan only, right?
I honestly don't. A third Donkey Konga? I don't know.
I don't think it came out here, but I do think a third one was made.
Wait, we had Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 3. Cool. Jungle Beat being kind of its own 2D platformer, which again, frustrating to control at times. You're using a set of bongos. But I do enjoy that game. And it's funny playing that after playing the first Mario Galaxy back then. I remember realizing how many ideas were carried over directly from that. You'd be like, I kind of see the through line here. But we can't talk about Donkey Kong spin-offs without Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh my God, I know. Right? It was going to be, if you didn't say it, I was going to say it. It's, God, that might be my favorite one. I'm going to be honest.
I mean, it's incredible. It takes the Mario Kart formula, adds hovercrafts and planes, which is crazy. Does a whole adventure mode, tons of secrets, unlockables, kind of all that rare magic that they had back in the 90s. And I still don't feel like we're getting kart racers like it. I really wanted Mario Kart World to be a modern Diddy Kong Racing. It's not
that would have been, or still is maybe, that would have been like the door to kind of be like, all right, so we're not going to get the chance to do Donkey Kong Racing again. So tell you what,
yeah,
we're just going to make a different one. And that would have been perfectly fine. Dude, I would have lost my mind if they would have brought like the, I don't remember what you call it, the hovercraft thing and the planes. Dude, to bring back even, like, they could have made those little corners of the world, like the different maps. Oh my God, I would have lost it. The music. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I wanted kind of that single player story adventure structure, and we didn't quite get that.
One day, I'm convinced. One day,
it could happen. We did get a second Donkey Kong Racer. We did. Well, so before Rare was purchased by Microsoft, we were actually going to get a Donkey Kong Racing on the GameCube. There's footage out there on the internet of it, of Donkey Kong on Rambi and all that. That, of course, didn't happen because of that purchase. But we did get Donkey Kong Barrel Blast on the Wii. This game is not good, Jordan. It's a bad game.
I just looked it up. Barrel Blast, yeah.
It's a bummer. I mean, I remember picking this up and hoping for the best, and it was not. It was far from the best.
I see. So, like, when I Googled that, I don't know if you're familiar with Scott the Waz's channel, but he, I just see his face really angry over the cover. Oh man, that's funny. What a bummer, man.
It is a bummer. Like you said, I hope we get another shot at that.
Well, we also had Diddy Kong DS, Diddy Kong Racing DS.
Yeah,
or not DS. Yes, DS, but also Game Boy. We had a Game Boy one too.
Well, Diddy Kong. They made Banjo Pilot, which kind of had some of that Diddy Kong Racing DNA in it for the Game Boy Advance.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking of. Diddy Kong Pilot. Yep.
But Diddy Kong Racing DS is cool. I bought that maybe a year ago. And yeah, I mean, that's a great way to play that game. I still like the original quite a bit, but
yeah, the DS one's all right though. That's not bad.
Yeah,
it's cool that it even happened. Yeah, I'm just itching for that new entry. And I mean, as much as work as we're doing with Mario and Donkey Kong, I'm kind of hoping that's headed our way. At least something imagined in this way.
I mean, I would have told you there is no chance until Nintendo went and announced Kirby Air Riders this year.
Yeah,
how are we getting a sequel to Kirby Air Ride?
That is a great point.
In a couple weeks, that's going to be out on the world. We may or may not be playing it. But if that can happen, I think some sort of Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong Racing can happen, which would be very cool.
I'm just mourning this right now.
No, that's all right. But Kirby Air Ride and Air Riders, I'm sure we'll be talking about in the coming weeks. That's pretty cool. Not a game I ever spent a ton of time with. I am looking forward to this one. And the fact that it has a lot of the content from the original game is cool. But Kirby's kind of dabbled around, especially in recent years. There are a lot of weird Kirby spin-offs that have come out on the Switch that like I just don't like remember, Do you ever just kind of see a Kirby game you feel like you've never heard of before? It's just out there.
Well, there's a whole roster: the Pinball Land, Fighters, Blowout Blast. Oh God, Planet Robobot. Oh my God, that one I did not care for. Is that a spinoff? Even is that a spinoff? I don't even know.
No, I think that's a main Kirby game.
Is it?
There's a lot of rumor they're going to remake that one for the Switch.
No,
that rumor's been around for a long time. I know you hate that game, but there's a rumor that it's going to happen.
Like, I don't know, man. Like Forgotten Land, we're headed in the right direction. That's cool. I wouldn't even be mad if Kirby went on another little side scroller adventure.
Sure.
Something a little more hardcore, you know what I mean? And give us that like a cool new facelift on graphic. But
no, they want to give you a dream buffet. That's what they want to give you.
I guess so. I mean, or DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe.
See, and that's a game I have never heard of. That's not a real title, right? But it's on here on the list, but I've never heard of that.
DDD's Drum Dash. I can't even say it. DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe is a standalone Nintendo eShop software that is a sequel/successor to the Kirby Triple Deluxe subgame, DDD's Drum Dash. Like the original, DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe features King DDD as the main character, as him bouncing on drums in the rhythm of a song.
Okay, I mean that's cool. Blowout Blast is another one that like, what the hell is that?
Dude,
it looks like they were just throwing these out on the 3DS eShop that I was not aware of them.
No, I guess so. And I mean, I remember seeing like Kirby's Mass Attack, which I would very much consider. At least if I remember this, am I remembering Mass Attack correctly?
That's the one with all the Kirbys. There's a lot of them.
See, to me, that's a spinoff. That is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay,
because it's not,
but like I still kind of even put it in the category. Like it is still pretty normal Kirby.
It's hard to it's weird because like you're right. It's traditional gameplay and their line of thinking is it's a new Kirby game and this is like the new mechanic. This is the new thing, But to me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm a bunch of Kirbys,
right?
Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like it's not kind of how I remembered it. So to me, I'm like, this is a weird one. I kind of see Yoshi in a lot of the same way, to be honest with you. Like where Yoshi's thing, it's always kind of a weird kind of gimmick, different situation. And I know that the same argument can be made for Mario, but for some reason it's different to me. And I don't know why.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but like looking at this list, just looking at since 2017, since the original Switch came out, Kirby has been in 10 games. They're not letting this man rest. It's been 8 years. Yeah. He's been in 10 games.
Is Kirby a man?
I don't know. Kirby Fighters 2, Super Kirby Clash. I've tried some of these, and like they're kind of just forgettable. Like, you know, they've never really worked for me. But we mentioned Air Ride, which I know there's a segment of people that really love that. I mentioned Kirby's Dream Course last week for the SNES. Yeah. I love that. Do you remember Kirby Canvas Curse or Rainbow Curse? These were DS.
I do remember Canvas Curse.
That used the stylus.
Yeah.
Those were both cool. Rainbow Curse on the Wii U was actually really cool because it was all like claymation. They did kind of like the Yoshi crafted world kind of thing, and that was very cool.
Okay.
So sometimes the Kirby stuff is inspired. I like it.
Okay. Well, that's good. I do love Kirby, but I've had a tendency to dislike the games more than I like them.
Sure.
All I know is I still have Diddy Kong Racing stuff pulled up right now, and I'm looking at that TT Clock guy.
Yeah.
Give me that guy in Smash Bros, dude.
So you can hit him? Like what? I never liked that guy.
Let me fuck people up with this guy.
Okay. He can do it.
I'm looking at all these weird characters from all these games. I'm like, let's put these motherfuckers in a fucking octagon and let's go. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
give me some weirdos in the next Super Smash. Like, I want to see some of that.
So that's funny. That's a future topic I would love to do, where we plan out a Super Smash Bros. Roster. I think that would be a fun topic in the future. So we'll have to put that in our pocket. That could be fun.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So the last one I've got here is, of course, The Legend of Zelda, a franchise we both hold very dear. Are you playing these spin-offs as they come? And by spin-offs, I'm talking the crossbow training and Tingle's Rupee Land and that kind of stuff.
Tingle's Rupee Land. I definitely have fucked around with quite a bit of Zelda spin-offs. Actually, I don't want to say quite a bit, but when you said crossbow training, I did fuck around with that a little bit.
Yeah.
That was cool, and I think I got that from like a garage sale or something. Okay. So it wasn't like I sought it out, but it happened upon me, and I did enjoy it. I did not play anything with Tingle. Hyrule Warriors, the first one I played quite a bit, and like we were kind of saying earlier, that one was very much still a clone of Dynasty Warriors, so I fell off. I wasn't a huge fan. Mm-hmm. But I have one that I think is very interesting, and I've never played it, to be clear, but I've wanted to play it for a long time, and now that we're talking about this, I kind of think it might be that I might be ready for it. Okay. It's a rhythm-based game.
Yes, I was hoping this would come up, and I'm surprised you haven't played this. This feels very, very you.
It does, and I'm not going to lie to you. I forget about it constantly, and then it just has a way of showing up, whether it's like, I've told you that I cycle through a lot of Nintendo music and people making it on YouTube. I'll come across Cadence of Hyrule stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit, in that. And every time I'm like, man, that is so cool. And then I'll just stumble upon like clips of people playing it, and it like sounds really cool. It looks really cool, and it's so different and actually pretty creative. And I feel like this is a good one, and I need to give some time to it. Did you ever give it a shot?
So I bought it last year on sale, and I played a bit of it, and I eventually kind of fell off of it. It's very good. It's one of those that I do need to go back to. I don't really have any complaints with it. It's cool. The remixes sound great. The gameplay's awesome. The story of it, is just cool that, these guys made Crypt of the Necrodancer. Nintendo apparently liked what they saw, and they said, hey, put Zelda in this, and they did, and it's very authentically Zelda, while still kind of holding on to that gameplay that they established. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's going to be one that I check out. But I feel like when it comes to Zelda spin-offs, that one really sticks out to me, because I could be wrong in this, but at least me personally, it was the first one in a long time that sounded actually very cool and interesting.
Yeah, I think it's pretty beloved. I think people really, really like that game. I wonder if we'll get a sequel. I know Crypt of the Necrodancer has recently received a sequel, so who knows? Maybe they're doing another one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any Zelda ones that stick out to you?
Not really of note that we haven't mentioned. So I do have it was a My Nintendo reward. I have this it's on my 3DS, but I think it was even a DSi title. It is Picross Twilight Princess. Oh. And so all the puzzles are, it's the wolf and it's Midna and it's all that stuff. And it's just Picross, but it's fun, Whenever I do open up my 3DS, it's nice to see it on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I wish the 3DS was a little bit easier on the eyes these days.
I know. Bums me out sometimes.
It does. Bums me out quite a bit.
Is there anywhere you would like to see Zelda go with spin-off? I should have been asking you this all along, but when it comes to Zelda spin-offs, obviously you're kind of over the Hyrule Warriors thing. We've talked about Cadence of Hyrule. What do you want to see that you're not seeing from Zelda?
I want to see a thought-out dungeon maker.
Ooh, that'd be very cool. Yeah.
Because there was all kinds of talk about that, because Link's Awakening teased this. You can recycle the dungeon rooms or areas to kind of arrange a dungeon out of recycled assets, But there's got to be a way that we can do this very Mario Maker style. There's got to be a way to do it. And I would love that, because we would get that mystique of the, Link's Awakening dungeons, but you'd get to play online and play other people's creations and get really creative with some of the puzzling. And I just feel like if you do it in that style, where it's that 2D style, not only is it going to be gorgeous, but it's going to be what the first Mario Maker was. And we have the ability to do that, so it's like, to me, that's probably been the longest standing one, if I'm being honest. That's something I feel like would do really well. People would be really excited about it. And I feel like the hardware supports it. So as far as the spinoff goes, that's got to be my number one for Zelda.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we are part of the way there with Echoes of Wisdom. Just the way that game lets you like manipulate, different objects in the world and enemies and things like that. Like, yeah, I think we're part of the way there. We need the dungeon part of it.
Yeah,
that'd be very cool. Yeah, I don't know, because like I think about, I'm sure you could do something with like a business sim in the Zelda universe, and that'd be fun. Or I don't know, but I love Zelda. I'm willing to at least try anything with the Zelda brand on it.
Yeah,
except those Philips
me too.
CDI games.
I mean,
I want to play those.
I can't think of any like awful ones off the top of my head. I don't think.
Just your Wands of Gamelon and that, those horrible games. But
what I'd like to see, I think, though, and this doesn't necessarily just pertain to Zelda, but I am looking at this list here and it just reminded me. I remember being really just taken by Soul Calibur 2. I don't know why.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's because I don't know why this game struck a nerve with me either, but a separate game, Bloody Roar, I think it was called.
I'm not familiar with that one.
No, Bloody Roar was a fighter, and I don't know how I came across it, especially because I know I was pretty young. And yeah, if you give that a Google, I want to say it was GameCube, Bloody Roar GameCube. Yes, Primal Fury, Bloody Roar. And I have this memory of you could like turn into these like beasts in this game, in this fighter.
Okay.
And it was so weird. And anyway, so I became fascinated with fighters at that time, which, I'm not a fighter guy. So like,
sure.
It was really weird. So anyway, it was around the time that Soul Calibur 2 came out. And I was like, whoa, another fighter. And then I was at Great Lakes Crossing that day with my dad. It was launch day for Soul Calibur 2.
Okay.
And there was just this competition going on, and I ran into one of our old elementary school friends who was in the competition. And I was like, my dad was like, hey, fuck it. Like, yeah, just go do it. I didn't know what I was doing. I obviously lost, but I didn't know that Link was the GameCube. Like, he was on the GameCube version.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. That is so cool. So like, depending on which one you got a different character. And I thought, I'm just thinking, even these days, like, how cool, why don't we do more of that?
I know. I remember that being such a moment, right? Like the GameCube had Link. I think on the PS2 it was like Hachi, and Xbox had Spawn.
Yeah.
And then, eventually I feel like they've kind of phased that out. Like the Soul Calibur 4 had Yoda on the Xbox 360 and Darth Vader on the PS3. Eventually they sold the opposite one as DLC. But yeah, like I don't know, stuff like that is cool. And it's one of those things where I'm very happy that they've managed to get Soul Calibur 2 on Nintendo Classics with Link in it. Because like they did release a Soul Calibur 2 HD, years ago on the other platforms that obviously didn't have that.
Yeah.
So it's cool that there's a way to play that now. Because I always thought that was awesome. I did not have that game as a kid.
Man.
This Bloody Roar game is nuts. I'm looking at like the characters and what they turn into. Some of these make sense. This guy turns into a tiger, a gorilla. So, that's all good. This guy turns into a beetle. What's he doing? A chameleon? A mole?
Dude, it's a wild. Like I want to go back and play this because I remember like the transformation. It was like, you're like, I remember being like, whoa, no way. And like, I I have no idea what year this game came out. I'd have to Google it. But when I was younger, do you remember the book series Animorphs?
I mean, of course. Who? Yeah.
You
all remember Animorphs.
Yeah. So I mean, like, and wasn't that eventually a show too?
I feel like there was one, right?
I feel like there was. Animorphs. And dude, I can't.
Yeah, there was.
I can't look at these pictures, dude. These are so funny.
So for whatever reason, I really liked to read as a kid, and my parents were always down with getting me books. Animorphs was not allowed though. I don't know why. That just
your parents didn't let you read Animorphs?
No, I was getting all kinds of books, but not Animorphs, and I don't. And if I talk to them now, they're like, "Yeah, we didn't care. You could have had Animorphs." But like, why? Why? This was a hugely popular series at that time, and yet for some reason, I read none of it.
Oh man, that's that. I'm trying this. Will it let me do this? I'm trying to send you these pictures that I'm looking at right now. These are
okay.
Oh, I can't. Dang it. Just do you Google Animorphs?
Yeah, I've Googled Animorphs.
Just like, dude, these kids. Like, I remember looking at these covers and being like, these are adults, and no, man, these are just kids turning into moles. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, where I was going with this though is like, so that was pretty prominent. I don't know how popular Animorphs was. I feel like looking back, maybe not as popular as it seemed like it was to me at the time. We were pretty into it there in the Carlson household. So when Bloody Roar came around, I was like, damn, these people turning into fucking monsters and shit. Like, so I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, no, it's all of this is very interesting. I can't believe I feel like I've seen this box art. This Bloody Roar.
You had to have. You've been to a Scholastic book fair. You've seen this. It's there.
No, I'm not Animorphs. I'm talking about Bloody Roar. Do you still have
Bloody
this
Roar?
Game?
Yeah. What's that?
Do you still have this game? Because I mean,
no, I don't.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I think this was a Blockbuster rental for me.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you had Bloody Roar, which came out on the PS2. That's the only one that came out on the GameCube, it looks like.
Dude, there's no way. I feel like I don't know how I got to rent this game because I was young, dude. Like I had to have been young, and I can't possibly imagine. I'm like, hello, Mom, could I please have Bloody Roar? Like I will play it. It's Bloody Roar. Like
yeah, T for teen.
Yeah, T for T. Is it T?
It is. It's T for T. I'm shocked, but yeah.
That's fucking bananas. I cannot believe there's like, dude, there's blood, and you're like, I feel like when you transform, there's blood and stuff. Like it's pretty bonkers. I don't know.
It has a Metacritic of 75 on the GameCube.
Really?
61 on the Xbox. I don't know what was happening over there, but it was so significantly worse on the Xbox. Dude, but yeah,
Phil Spence just going all in on that blood, baby.
Maybe he was a young man back then.
He was just a chap.
Just a chap. What were we talking about here? Spinoffs? I mean, yeah. So I had a couple here that I wanted to mention. Some of the one-offs that I don't think have worked out so well. I mentioned Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival as one of the worst Wii U games last week.
Ooh.
Star Fox Guard, which is a weird tower defense game. Do you remember they sold this with Star Fox Zero?
Yes.
Somehow I no longer have Star Fox Guard. I still have Star Fox Zero. I don't have that, and I don't know why.
Dude, because you bought that game and came right over to my house. I remember, like first impressions being together on that game.
I know we played both of them. I can't imagine I would have sold Guard. It can't be worth anything.
No, there's no way you sold it. I would imagine in the case there's a spot for it and it's empty, I guess.
No, I think because it was like they were separate cases.
Oh, dude, what the hell? So it's just you just don't have it. It's missing.
Maybe it's packed away. I don't know, but yeah,
maybe whoever took my Monkey Ball 1 disc has it.
Yeah, they got Monkey Ball and they got Star Fox Guard. They got quite a collection. That game honestly wasn't too bad. It was just like this weird tower defense game, and you're like, why did you sell me this? Like, I don't,
They knew it wasn't going to sell on its own. It needed to ride the coattails.
But sometimes Star Fox. Nintendo can just like give up, like they see a game, and this is a thing we haven't really talked about. That one of Nintendo's philosophies is that they come up with a game first, and then they go, we should put Star Fox in it. That's who this should be about. That's how Star Fox Adventures kind of came to be. Is they looked at Dinosaur Planet from Rare and they said, that's not going to sell. Put Star Fox in it. That won't be weird.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at Star Fox Guard screenshots right now. This game looks like absolute cheeks, dude.
Come on. I don't know. I haven't played it in a while. Someone took it.
This is like this is surveillance camera hero.
Yeah. No, and it's interesting. It's a pack in with another game. I wouldn't buy this for $70 today. That's a little excessive. God. But it is what it is. The other one I wanted to mention too was Hey Pikmin. So this is a weird side scroller that they did on the 3DS. And people were very mad because there was that thing years and years ago at this point where Miyamoto was just like, yeah, Pikmin 4, it's ready. It'll be out soon. That was like a decade ago. It didn't come out for a very long time. And then they announced this and people were like, is this what he was fucking talking about? The Hey Pikmin? And it turns out it wasn't. Thankfully, we did finally get a Pikmin 4. But before Pikmin 4 came out, I did check this out from the library. And it's not bad. It's just kind of boring. You do use your little Pikmin, you're throwing them around, you're having them pick stuff up. But it's just not the most exciting thing in the world. That's always a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, Pikmin has never been something that really captured me, but just looking at this, I feel like just not feeling it.
It's kind of slow, and like there's like no risk. Like at no point did I feel like I'm gonna lose. Like
I was unstoppable.
Well, it's just like, and sometimes it's very slow, and it's like I'm gonna win. Just let me win. Like, like why is this taking so long?
Yeah.
So
why is it called Hey Pikmin though?
I don't know, to get your attention.
Are you yelling at them? Are you blowing in the mic?
There is no. I don't think you're blowing in the mic, but there is. You have your whistle, to bring them all.
Oh, yeah,
around. I don't know. And then the only other game I wanted to bring up today, which I have not mentioned yet, I recently picked this game up. I found a great deal on Facebook Marketplace, and that game is Metroid Prime Pinball, and I am so stoked to have this in my possession once again. Complete in box with the manual, with the Rumble Pack for the DS, which is crazy. Which turns out works with a couple of other games. It works with Metroid Prime Hunters. It works with like Mario and Luigi. There are a handful of DS games that support the Rumble Pack. Yeah, I'm stoked because this one is good. This is a good pinball spin-off game.
What's with the? I just want to talk about this. What's the fascination on pinball in general?
I think it's just an easy enough like thing to translate. People understand pinball.
I just don't really, like the machines, like physically in front of me. Like, okay, I'm not going to go somewhere if they're like there's a couple places local to us where you can go and it's just pinball machines galore. And that's cool. Go do the thing. It's never really something that's captured my attention, but what captures my attention even less is virtual pinball. It reminds me of the internet going out.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that game I remember playing plenty of that. I will say one of the advantages this has over like Mario Pinball or the Pokemon Pinball games is the dual screen setup. So like you do get the vertical kind of, and that's cool. That works for this.
That is cool. Yeah.
So, maybe not the biggest thing to write home about, but it's cool, and I'm excited to play it at some point. I don't know when I'll get to it, but did you have any other Nintendo spin-offs you wanted to bring up today?
Man, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think
We've
so.
gone through a lot.
Yeah.
We checked them off. Okay, I like it. Well, if you out there are listening, watching, whatever you're doing, have some spin-offs you would like to talk with us about, let us know in the comments. We would love to hear it. Whether they're Nintendo franchises or not, we kind of alluded to the Sonic spin-offs of the world and things like that. There's a lot of them out there. But you can do that on our various channels. Podcasting with Power, you can find on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple, all those places you could find a podcast. We are there. You can also interact with us on social media at Pod with Power. Trying to be a little better about using the Blue Sky and the Threads. With that, trying to share some more relevant stuff there. So, interact with us there. We'd love to see ya. But until next time, I'm Zachary Davis. That's Jordan Carlson. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.